everyone, welcome back to another episode of Light at the End of the Funnel. Today I am so excited to introduce the fabulous Brad Yates. Brad Yates is known internationally for his creative and often humorous use of emotional freedom techniques, EFT. Brad is the author of the best-selling children's book, The Wizard's Wish, the co-author of the bestseller Freedom at Your Fingertips, and a featured expert in the film The Tapping Solution. He has also been a presenter at a number of events, including Jack Canfield's Breakthrough to Success. He has done teleseminars with The Secret, the movie The Secret, and the book The Secret stars Bob Doyle and Dr. Joe Vitale, and has been heard internationally on a number of internet radio shows. Brad also has over 700 videos on YouTube that have been viewed over 18 million times. 18 million, guys! That's a lot! And is contributing expert on the Huffington Post. More info is available at www.tapwithbrad.com. Thank you so much for coming, Brad.
Oh, my pleasure, Danielle. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, absolutely. My pleasure. I was so excited about this interview. I've watched you for years too. Whenever I heard about tapping, I'm like, well, let's check out this tapping thing. And sure enough, Googled it, and your YouTube videos came up.
Well, there's a few of them out there.
There is a few. There is a few. So, let's jump right in. What's your favorite YouTube video?
Oh, my goodness. Which is my favorite child? I don't know, Danielle. Which is your favorite?
That's like locked in the secret box.
Yeah. I go back and forth. There's certain ones that I go back to that I like to go back and watch because I think, I don't come up with the with what I say. Mm-hmm. I don't pre-script them. I just kind of download it while I'm tapping. As I'm tapping, I get clear. I've become a more clear channel to get information. And but some of my favorites are Resisting the Remarkable, Amazing Day, Being Unstoppable, Being Limitless. Things like that. Those are generally fun ones for me to go through, and I think they're great great little videos for people to use even on a regular basis. It's not just about clearing a particular issue that hopefully within a round or a couple of rounds someone will clear out and be done with, but it's something that's aspiring to some level of empowerment that can keep getting better and better.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. So I love that too. And what is it that happens when someone taps when they're aspiring to a top level, so to speak?
Yeah. So, what a lot of people say, well, tapping it's a therapeutic tool. Is to get rid of. You can't tap in the positive, so you can only tap out some negative thing like fear. Mm-hmm. And I'll say yes. Well, but I believe that we have this amazing awesomeness, this greatness inside of us that gets trapped under fears and doubts and things. So while we might be aware of a particular, I'm afraid of driving over bridges, and so it's on a daily basis, I have this fear if I have to drive over a bridge. Yeah. But there are other fears that are blocking us from stepping into our greatness and being who we can be and sharing our gifts with the world that we're often not aware of. So rather than trying to come up with a specific fear that might be stopping someone, I just start talking about what is it you aspire to, and as we're tapping on it and clearing out and talking, as we're tapping, we're talking about what we aspire to, what we want to affirm about ourselves. Any of the fears that might come up that stop us are going to start coming up. So we are clearing that stuff out. Yeah. I don't think we are tapping in the positive. We don't need to, because the positive's already in there. Yeah. Yeah. It's like that old was it Prego spaghetti sauce or whatever. It's in there. Yeah. What I always go back to is when Michelangelo said that the statues were already there inside the marble. All he had to do was chip away what didn't belong to reveal the masterpiece that was already there inside. Yeah. He didn't build the David. He chipped away what didn't belong to reveal the David. Yeah. So that's what we're doing with tapping. And the more we do it, the more we chip away what doesn't belong, and the more we reveal the masterpiece that we really are.
Oh, so well said. Thank you. Thank you for that.
My pleasure.
So for people who don't know what EFT tapping is, 'cause I know
What is this
don't
crazy
know.
thing they keep talking about?
Can you do that in the Irish accent?
What is this crazy thing they keep talking about?
I love
All this malarkey about tapping.
it. Oh, that's great.
I apologize if I've offended any Irish.
I'm Irish. I speak for all of us. That was great. I'm going to send this to my whole family so they can listen to it later.
I just saw an interview with Saoirse Ronan on Stephen Colbert saying, yeah, you know, people do the Irish accent. They go into the high lilting thing. Most Irish don't talk that way.
Not quite, but they have a wonderful, beautiful accent. I love the Irish accent for sure.
They do. That's why I'm so looking forward to being back there in a couple of weeks.
You were saying that Brad and I were talking before the interview, and he is going to Dublin.
I will be in Dublin.
For Christmas, or
just the week before Christmas.
Yeah. Do they have snow there right now? Probably.
You know, I don't know. I have never been there in the winter.
This is your first time in the winter.
This will be my first time in the winter. I've been there in the summer and fall, but never in the winter.
I bet it's beautiful in the fall and the summer. Do you have a favorite season? Can you hear me? Oh.
Froze there for a moment.
I did. Was it a funny freeze? Was it like, my hands up?
For those of you on the podcast, you missed an incredible visual, right? It's going to be a meme.
It's usually, whenever I freeze screen, it's usually of me yapping. So it's always very opportune. It's
You're a podcaster. You're supposed to be talking. So
yeah,
there you
that's
go.
True. That's true. So what I was asking was, do you have a preference, summer or fall in Dublin?
I don't. I love it. I've loved it every time I was there.
Loved it every time. Aw, I bet it's amazing. I have to go. I know I have to go back to homeland. So EFT, for those...
Oh, right. Yeah. We were talking.
We're going to
talking about your travelogue about Ireland, right?
I know. I made you do the Irish accent because I knew we were going to get a kick out of it, or I was going to get a kick out of it, so I wanted you to do it.
Totally took me off track. I'm focusing now. I'm going to do some tapping to focus. What is the tapping you're doing? Oh, okay, let me explain. Especially for those of you who are listening to this. Yep. So tapping, or emotional freedom technique, or EFT, is a process of tapping with our fingertips on key places on our, primarily on our face and torso. Mm-hmm. And if you've never heard of it before, you're thinking, what the? Yeah. And so originally based on acupuncture. Mm-hmm. So for thousands of years in Chinese medicine, they've said there's a flow of energy through the body along these pathways called meridians. Mm. And when this energy is flowing naturally, we experience our natural state of health and well-being, physically and emotionally. Mm-hmm. And other times, that energy gets stuck and we don't feel so good. Mm-hmm. So in acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicine, the doctor would stick needles in these key points to stimulate the healthy flow of energy. Mm-hmm. And we're just going to tap with our fingertips. And I totally understand that it looks strange, but it's one of the most effective forms of stress relief. Mm-hmm. There was a scientific study done where people using tapping, their cortisol levels dropped by an average of 24%. Wow. Now, so cortisol is one of the stress hormones that gets released when we go into fight or flight. Mm-hmm. And the lab threw out the first batch because they said that's not possible. Nothing lowers cortisol that fast mm-hmm. or that effectively. And then they ran it again. They recalibrated their instruments, ran it again that quickly and effectively. So, so even though it looks a little strange to do it, when you think about the fact that over 95% of our issues, physical or emotional, are either caused or worsened by stress, mm-hmm. then to use a tool that clears stress this simply kind of seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, no needles either.
Yeah, no needles. So, and hundreds of thousands of people, maybe millions of people are using the tapping, including world-class athletes. I mean,
Yeah.
Super Bowl and World Series winning athletes are using this to improve their performance.
Yeah.
Doctors, lawyers, I mean, people in all kinds of professions, at all levels of success. I've worked with actors, I've worked with rock stars.
Yeah.
People saying, yeah, it looks silly, but I want the benefits from this. And so they use it and are very happy they do.
Yeah, you're right. It does look really funny if you see someone doing it and you haven't before.
Yeah.
The first time I saw someone tapping was my aunt, my dad's twin sister, and we were at a stoplight and she just started tapping her forehead. I'm like, what are you doing? I think I was 20. I was like, what are you doing? Oh, it's tapping. And she started doing it here, and then she did it on her hands, and I'm like, what is going on? Are you okay? But then she explained it to me. I'm like, oh, I have to check this out. This is pretty cool. So, but she said, yeah, it was a huge stress relief for her. So, that was my introduction to tapping. So anyone who sees someone in the car tapping away at their forehead, they're okay.
They're okay. They're just clearing out some stress, or they're creating a greater opening for success. Because this is why, so as entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
when we're looking to go to the next level, to write that book, write that blog, make that phone call, make that video.
Yeah.
Anytime we go to do something new or something that's a higher level than what we've been doing, it is absolutely normal for us to experience some stress. That's part of the human condition. We tend to experience stress when we face the unknown.
Yes.
The problem is that stress often shuts us down and stops us. And it's like, I want to get better. I want to do big things. I want to be this. I'm nervous. I like it the way it is.
Yeah, that's a good reel that happens in my head sometimes.
That makes you human.
Yeah, good.
So now if we had something to deal with the stress that comes up when we go to face that, how many more doors open for us? How much more opportunity do we have? Not only to up-level our own lives, to increase our career well-being, to increase our financial well-being, but also to share our gifts and talents in a much bigger way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and really put ourselves out there, because everybody has something that can make a positive difference in the world. And so to break through the stress that says, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, I don't really have anything to offer, all of these lies. But when we try to challenge those lies, we experience stress, because something says, you're much safer where you are. Stay where you are. Even if it doesn't make any logical sense, just stay where you are.
Yeah.
And while we're doing the tapping, we start to clear that stress out and go, oh, wow, that fear is totally unfounded. I can't believe that I've been letting that hold me back.
Yeah. Well, and it is like a no-brainer, like you said earlier, and just, we look for that flow and ease as entrepreneurs, or that easy button, and really the easy button is like tapping on your head and not on the button, because you have it right here, or here, or here.
I may have to do something with that. That was easy.
You can have like the easy button. This is what I'm really good at this stuff, and that's an online marketing. You can have the easy button, just like you can put that down and just pick up your finger and start tapping away. That's your easy button.
Get little red easy stickers and put them on the tapping points.
Oh, I like that. Oh, that's so good. It's like tap your way. It's like those dancing things you put down when you're trying to learn to dance, instead of tap stickers.
Right.
We just gave you a whole new marketing plan, didn't we?
There we go. I suppose you don't want a finder's fee.
It's all yours. That's all yours. All you have to do is just like that girl over there. Yep, that one. She's the one that gave me the idea for my tapping stickers. So that's good. I like that. Then there's like a whole other thing you can. No, you know what? I'm not going to go into it. We could like talk about that for a while.
We want to honor the time for those listening.
Yes.
They're like, this is all very fun, but when are you going to get to?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about
So
something deeper for you too. I
yeah, so
love.
let me explain
Okay.
real quick, just for those of you
Sure.
who are listening but don't and can't see it. So as I talk about sticking the little easy
Yeah.
stickers on the tapping points, so let me describe where these tapping points are that we use. If you know anything about acupuncture, you'll know that there are hundreds of points along the body. We use 8 points that are endpoints to major meridians. So the first point, when we start doing a tapping round, we tap on the what we call the carotid chop point, of the side of the hand.
The side of the hand.
So if we tap with 2 fingers, our index and middle finger, and we tap with the fingertips. And so the carotid chop point, if you were to imagine breaking a board with a carotid chop, that's the edge of your hand right between your pinky and wrist. And we just gently tap that, and that's when we state what the issue is. So let's say I'm feeling really stressed out, and I would rate that stress on a scale of 0 to 10. And, 10 being, oh my God, I'm freaking out. 0 being, hey, I'm totally chill.
Yeah.
So we'd say, okay, I'm about an 8 or 9. And we would start tapping and say, even though I'm so stressed out, I choose to love and accept myself. We'd say that 3 times. So we're just stating an intention of, I recognize that I have this issue, but I also appreciate myself even though I have this issue. It tends to, create an opening for us an energetic opening for us to work on the issue. Then with our fingertips, we would tap the beginning of the eyebrow point. So right there, and basically just about in the middle of your face, right at the beginning of the eyebrow on either side. And you can tap with either hand on either side, on both sides at the same time if you like.
Yeah. Does it make a difference if you're you don't have to go like this?
Yeah. You can go right or left, both hands, whatever feels comfortable. I'm not big on rules. I tell people, try what works best.
Okay.
I always tap. I generally tap with my right hand in my videos, because if I tapped with both hands, I'd be covering my face. And as a trained actor, that's just not that's just not good camera technique. So, let's go down one side. So you tap on the eyebrow point, and generally tap between 5 and 10 times on a point. If we're saying a longer phrase, even though I'm so stressed out about this report that I have to do, and it's due by midnight, and everybody's asking me for it.
Yeah.
And it might go more than 10 taps. Because it's good to be specific when we can.
I like that. Yeah. Specific.
Yeah,
so tapping, it can be gentle. It's not like you have to jab yourself.
No, it's a very gentle process. This is a self-care process, not an injury process. I have seen people do it very hard. It's like, whoa. Be nice to yourself.
I could see me doing this. I just want it to work. Let's tap this out.
And likewise, if there's someone in your life and they're stressed out, be gentle if you try to tap on them. Stop being so stressed out. Wham, wham, wham.
I could just imagine, I'm going to help you. Just hold still. I'm going to tap away at your forehead.
Stand still while I poop.
And then comes the ice pack. Yeah, I know. That was funny.
You said you wanted to have fun.
I did. I always want to have fun. So this is fun.
It's in my contract. It has to be fun or I won't show up.
Oh my gosh, that's what I say. That's what I said when I came here.
So now that now that folks listening have been tapping their eyebrow point for 200 times, we're going to move on to the side of the eye. So you follow your eyebrow out to the outside corner of your eye socket.
Oh, right there. Okay.
So tap on right there in the corner of the eye socket. And we'd say again, all this stress.
Okay.
Then follow the edge of your eye socket down to right under the middle of your eye.
Okay.
So just above your cheek, right under the middle of your eye. Just tap in there.
Okay.
Then right under the nose, just above your upper lip, all this stress. Right under the lower lip, just above your chin there, right in that crease, all this stress. The collarbone point. So if you feel your collarbones just about come together, there's a little U shape at the base of your throat.
Oh, yeah. And
go ahead and make a fist, and you can tap right over where the collarbones come together.
Oh, so you don't use your two fingers, you use
You
more
can
of a
use your
fist.
two fingers.
Yeah.
I generally use my fingers. I actually use 3 or 4 fingers to
Mm-hmm.
cover a larger area.
Mm-hmm.
But however you want to do it is fine. And
Mm-hmm.
then the next point is about 4 inches below your armpit,
Mm-hmm.
so just about bra strap level. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure even the guys can figure out where that is.
Yep.
Not going to make the joke there. The last point we're going to do is tapping the top of your head.
Okay.
Little circles around the crown of your head.
Oh,
All
circle.
the stress.
Ah,
Yeah. Well, just to cover that way, you cover
yeah.
more
I'm gonna have to.
points on the top of the head.
Nice.
And then you take a deep breath. And then you check in again and say, okay, how stressed out do I feel now?
Mm-hmm.
It may go from a 9 to a 0 like that.
Mm-hmm.
It may go from a 9 to an 8.75. And then you go, okay. And then you tap again, it goes down to an 8.2. And you keep tapping until it goes to a 0.
Yeah.
And it might go faster. Now, it may be that you don't feel a lot of relief, but you may have greater awareness of what you're stressed about. Because it
Mm-hmm.
may have been, I just feel stressed. You tap, it's like, now I know what it is.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's parents are coming over tonight, and I just remembered that all of my nice clothes are in the laundry.
Yeah.
And I have to go do laundry in the next 20 minutes.
Yeah. Now, does it help you get to kind of, because like what you're talking about, that specifically could be a symptom for something that's even a little deeper, right?
It absolutely could. When we're tapping, we're peeling the layers of the onion,
Yeah.
and we get more and more awareness
Yeah.
of what it is. So tapping's like, oh, I'm stressed out about my girlfriend's parents coming over. Oh, and the reason I'm stressed out about that is because I remember something she once said about her dad and this and that,
Yeah.
and that reminds me of something that happened when I was in high school, and a teacher was really mad at me, and I'm so afraid of upsetting adults, and we keep going back. I was working with this guy once, and we'd only go like 2 points, and he'd say, "Oh wait, no, it's something that happened when I was 5." Tap tap tap. Oh no, I remember. I still have a memory from when I was 2.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just peeling layers of the onion.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the round, it's like whatever had been bothering him before that seemed like something that was in the current time
Mm-hmm.
wasn't bothering him at all, nor were any of these issues that had happened in the past that, if he had thought about them, were still disturbing.
Yeah. Oh, that's so powerful too, because I love it when we can go right to the core.
Yeah.
A lot of times, what I found with myself and clients is that like one of the things that seems like the surface layer that's bothering him is just a symptom of what's going on deeper. So I
Right.
love that tapping helps that unlayering too.
Yeah.
And as well as bringing the cortisol levels down, because it makes it much easier to be conscious and aware if you're not stressed out.
Yeah. Absolutely. When we go into fight or flight, the prefrontal cortex shuts down, goes offline, and we don't make the best choices.
Yeah.
So, don't make big life decisions when you're stressed out.
That's a good point.
Do some tapping.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with things like on the internet and Facebook, when people are arguing about politics and stuff like that. They get so angry and they start making really bad choices, and they start saying things that you would never in your daily life say to somebody.
Yeah.
But when we get angry, we say stuff we don't mean, and we I just saw a sign that says, "Don't be permanently stupid over a temporary upset."
Oh. Oh, I need that. I hope that's on a bumper sticker.
Because we do that. We get so stressed out, and we choose to do something that can haunt us for ages.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's really profound too.
So they say, think before you act, and sometimes tap before you think.
Tap before you think. I like it. I like it. So Brad, I know that this is light at the end of the funnel, and I think our audience would love for you to share a moment in your entrepreneurial journey that was kind of like a shift, and I know you had mentioned a couple. So what's coming forward for you to share? I'm sure you got some good ones.
Okay. The one that comes to mind, because we were talking earlier about my children's book. So I wrote the story, and I knew I was going to have to illustrate it because I'm a cartoonist, and I knew that my mom would kill me if I hired an illustrator.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a lot of resistance around drawing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I sat there and I went through the story, and I thought, man, there's probably like 18 pictures I'm going to have to draw.
Mm-hmm.
And if, for those of you who've seen my book, The Wizard's Wish, these are simple drawings. These are not like, really intense, in-depth, detailed things. But for me, it's just like, I don't want to. It's going to be so hard. And so it took 2 years from when I first came up with the idea of the book to actually do it.
Yeah.
And finally, I just thought, you know what? I should call one of my colleagues and tap with them.
Yeah.
And so I tapped with her, and then over the course of the next week,
yeah,
I did 40 drawings.
Wow. And you only had to do 18 altogether?
Well, that's what I first came up with, was
yeah.
I need at least 18 to supplement the story.
Yeah.
And I ended up with 40 drawings.
Wow. That's amazing.
So, and some of them are just simple little things that are like on the edge of the page or stuff.
Yeah.
But even those things were like, I can't do it. So,
yeah.
That was a place where I myself, even though I knew this stuff, was totally blocked on a project that I wanted to get done. I had the inspiration, but 2 years, I think, I sat on that because I just couldn't get over simple little things that I wasn't even aware of. And then, over a short period of time tapping with a friend for, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour,
mm-hmm.
we tapped, and in the next week, 40 drawings.
Wow.
That, to some people, some artists would be like, that's a day's work for me, dude.
Yeah.
But not for me.
Yeah.
So there are other things that, there are some things that are easier for us and some things that are harder. So it's when we find ourselves up against those hard things that are just stopping us in our tracks, and we're not getting that project out. We're not, writing that report or creating that video.
Mm-hmm.
This is, something that can get us through that.
Oh, gosh.
Maybe we should do some tapping on resistance while we...
That's what I was just thinking. I was just thinking that.
Wow, it's like we got this psychic connection.
I know, right? No, but it was like what came from, like, I bet a lot of audience members are totally relating to what you're talking about in their entrepreneurial journey right now, right this second. So, yeah, let's do it. Let's have some fun. He's going to explain, guys, for you that can't see us.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll go through... I will say phrases, and then I'll mention which point we're going to be tapping.
Okay.
And then Danielle, if you just be my echo voice and repeat back the phrases that I say.
Yay! I like to parrot.
And then everyone else just following along and just tap where I say to tap and repeat back what I say along with Danielle. Now, this is emotional freedom technique. We're dealing with emotions, and even though this is probably going to be a fairly light and fun tapping round,
yep.
It might trigger emotional stuff for you. I don't know, because I don't know what you're going through, and it shouldn't be a problem. It's a general process for most everyone, hopefully everyone. Whatever you're feeling or not even aware that you're feeling, you're going to feel better at the end of it. Mm. If you are going through some really heavy emotional stuff right now, maybe there's been some recent tragedy in your life, you may want to wait until you've got someone there for emotional support, or you may want to work with a professional one-on-one to help you move through that stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't want to scare anyone off, because again, it's a very simple, it's a very gentle technique, but because I don't know who's listening to this and what you're going through, I just need to say that you need to take full responsibility for your own well-being if you choose to tap. Mm-hmm. As we go looking at some of the stuff that might be holding us back. Awesome. So is it important for people to kind of get into that space of where they are right now before they tap? Okay. So everyone, go ahead and close your eyes. Mm-hmm. Take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Just breathing comfortably with your eyes closed. I want you to think about something that you've been meaning to do, but just haven't gotten going on it, or you've been stalling on it, someplace where you're feeling resistance. Mm-hmm. And you might be saying, oh, I don't have any resistance. And I'm going to suggest that you might be kidding yourself. Otherwise, it would probably be done already.
Yep.
You know, unless it's actually just a very large project and you are doing the steps and you can honestly say you're doing the steps and getting it done.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's something that you probably could get done, but you're finding yourself distracted or coming up with excuses,
Mm-hmm.
just picture yourself taking the actions. Maybe think of what the next action would be to move forward on this project. And picture yourself doing it and notice what you feel physically and what you feel emotionally. Where in your body you might be feeling resistance. Notice what thoughts, beliefs, and memories might come up as to why you might be afraid to take that action.
Mm-hmm.
And rate that resistance on a scale of 0 to 10. 10 being, yeah, I can't move forward at all. It's not going to happen. And don't judge yourself harshly if the number is high. Don't go, oh man, I'm so upset that I find this, there's so much resistance. That means I'm not ready to do this. No, this is great because that's what's been stopping you, and now we can actually do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
So take another deep breath, open your eyes, and tap it on the side of your hand. Even though I have all this resistance, I choose to love and accept myself anyway.
I choose to love and accept myself anyway.
Even though I have all this resistance, I choose to love and honor myself anyway.
I choose to love and honor myself anyway.
Even though I have all this resistance, it's stopping me from moving forward.
It's stopping me from moving forward.
Stopping me from taking action.
Stopping me from taking action.
No matter how much I want to take this action.
No matter how much I want to take this action.
No matter how much I want to get this thing done.
No matter how much I want to get this thing done.
I am feeling blocked.
I am feeling blocked.
And even though I have all this resistance.
And even though I have all this resistance.
I choose to deeply and completely. Love, honor, and accept myself.
Love, honor, and accept myself.
And maybe anyone else involved in this. You're tapping the eyebrow point. All this resistance. Side of the eye. All this resistance to taking action. Under the eye. All this fear of taking action. Under the nose. Part of me might be saying. Under the mouth. I don't have any fear. Collarbone. Just other things come up. Under the arm. It's not my fault. Top of the head. It's not like I'm manifesting distractions. Eyebrow point. I can't help that I'm drawn to Facebook.
Oh, that's a good one.
Side of the eye. I have to see what all my friends are having for breakfast. Before I can get started on this project. Under the nose. And maybe there's some resistance. Under the mouth. And maybe I am finding distractions. Collarbone. And it's not because I'm bad or stupid. Under the arm. It's not because I'm bad at being an entrepreneur. Top of the head. It's just because I have some old programming. Eyebrow point. That tells me to stay in my comfort zone. Side of the eye. I'm not trying to ruin my business. Under the eye. I am trying to save my life. Under the nose. Funny thing about the human mind.
Under
the mouth. It can't always distinguish between different levels of threat. Collarbone. And so I might be looking at taking some action. Under the arm. And the worst that could happen is I get some unkind criticism.
And the worst that could happen is that I get some unkind criticism.
Top of the head. And part of my mind says. Eyebrow point. Oh my God, I'm going to die. Side of the eye. And if that's what my mind is thinking. Under the eye. This resistance is not stupid. Under the nose. It's freaking genius. Under the mouth. Saving my life is a brilliant thing to do. Collarbone. So I love and appreciate that part of me.
So I love and appreciate that part of me.
On the arm that is resisting getting me killed.
That is resisting getting me killed.
Top of the head. And now that I'm tapping,
And now that I'm tapping
eyebrow point, and allowing myself to calm down,
and allowing myself to calm down,
side of the eye, I'm taking another look at what I want to do.
I'm taking another look at what I want to do.
Onto the eye. Is it really life-threatening?
Is it really life-threatening?
Onto the nose. What is really the worst that could happen?
What is really the worst that could happen?
Onto the mouth. And is it really something that I couldn't handle?
And is it really something that I couldn't handle?
Collarbone. Because I've handled a lot in the past.
Because I've handled a lot in the past.
Under the arm. In fact, I've handled everything that has ever happened in my life.
In fact, I've handled everything that has ever happened in my life.
Top of the head. Maybe not always as gracefully as I would have liked.
Maybe not as always as gracefully as I would like.
Eyebrow point. But I did handle it.
But I did handle it.
Side of the eye. The proof being that I'm still here.
The proof being that I'm still here.
Onto the eye. I can handle what shows up.
I can handle what shows up.
Onto the nose. And I have new tools.
And I have new tools.
Onto the mouth. If there are some consequences that I find uncomfortable.
If there are some consequences that I find uncomfortable.
Collarbone. I'll bet tapping would help.
I bet tapping would help. Very nice.
Onto the arm, which gives me more safety in moving forward.
Which gives me more safety moving forward.
Top of the head. I choose to clear this fear.
I choose to clear this fear.
Eyebrow point. Clearing this resistance.
Clearing this resistance.
Side of the eye. Clearing it at a cellular level.
Clearing it at a cellular level.
Onto the eye. And all the way back through my past.
And all the way back through my past.
Onto the nose. Back through all those events in my life.
Back through all those events in my life.
Onto the mouth, where I somehow got the message.
Where I somehow got the message.
Collarbone. Don't move forward.
Don't move forward.
Onto the arm. Don't take risks.
Don't take risks.
Top of the head. Don't put yourself out there.
Don't put yourself out there.
Eyebrow point. Don't be seen.
Don't be seen.
Side of the eye. Don't succeed.
Don't succeed.
Onto the eye. I'm clearing all these messages.
I'm clearing all these messages.
Onto the nose. It's all misunderstandings.
It's all misunderstandings.
Onto the mouth. Misinterpretations of what happened.
Misinterpretations of what happened.
Collarbone. And I may have felt some pain in the past.
And I may have felt some pain in the past.
Onto the arm. And I'm allowing myself to heal that pain.
And I'm allowing myself to heal that pain.
Top of the head. And knowing that I can heal pain.
And knowing that I can heal pain.
It feels much easier to move forward.
It feels much easier to move forward.
Side of the eye. Allowing myself the freedom to take action.
Allowing myself the freedom to take action.
Onto the eye. Releasing the remaining resistance.
Releasing the remaining resistance.
And under the nose. And underneath that.
And underneath that.
Onto the mouth. I'm finding a lot of excitement.
I'm finding a lot of excitement.
Collarbone. Hey, you know what?
Hey, you know what?
On the arm. When I'm not so scared.
When I'm not so scared.
Top of the head. I'm actually pretty excited about doing this.
I'm actually pretty excited about doing this.
Eyebrow point. It might actually be more fun than I thought.
It might actually be more fun than I thought.
Side of the eye. I've been robbing myself of a lot of fun.
I've been robbing myself of a lot of fun.
On the eye. But I love myself because I was just trying to protect myself.
But I love myself because I was just trying to protect myself.
Onto the nose. And now I'm seeing things differently.
And now I'm seeing things differently.
Onto the mouth. And I'm opening myself up to possibilities.
And I'm opening myself up to possibilities.
Collarbone. I have what it takes to take action.
I have what it takes to take action.
Onto the arm. And I'm setting myself free.
And I'm setting myself free.
Top of the head. In body, mind, and spirit.
In body, mind, and spirit.
And take a deep breath. And close your eyes and think about what that next action is again. And ask yourself again on a scale of 0 to 10 how much resistance there might be. And hopefully it's come down to 0. Hopefully, or at least enough. Hopefully it's come down at least enough that you can take action. We don't have to wait till it gets to 0 to take action. We just have to wait to the point, like what you were talking about with that bold move you made.
Yeah.
You didn't get down, you weren't at a 0, but you were at least had enough freedom to hit the button and move forward.
Oh yeah, audience. I was telling Brad a couple days ago. I had a nice little panic attack on a decision I'd already made, but it was like an hour of me going back and forth before I just hit the submit button.
Yeah.
No, I'm in. So.
And sometimes that's it. Sometimes we may not feel totally relaxed and, hey, I love this. This is joyful as I take this action.
Yeah.
but we have to at least get to the point where we can take the action.
Yeah.
Too often it's like, I'm so freaked out, I can't hit that button. I'm so freaked out, I can't even be in the room with my computer. I'm so,
Yeah.
So with the tapping, while it's great if we can get it down to a 0, the main thing is getting it at least to the point where we move forward and take the action. And then as we take it, we may find, oh, wow, this is easy. That was easy.
Yeah, that button was easy.
Yeah. Why did I put that off for so long?
Yeah, I could hear myself saying that for what I was tapping for. I'm like, I put that off for a while. Didn't need to. So how does so they tap and they're not at a 0 quite yet, but when, they're ready to take the action, is it just an automatic taking the action after tapping or going back and tapping? What would next steps be for?
If you feel you can take the action, by all means, go for it. Move forward.
Yeah.
If you find I'm walking, I'm not moving yet, but here I go. I'm ready. I am moving forward. I may need to do some more tapping.
Yeah. Okay.
Take action. If you're not taking action, tap.
Yeah.
I would, encourage people to take action whenever possible. But if you find yourself stopped, or if you find yourself freaking out so much that it's like, you may want to, even if you could take the action now, you may want to do a little bit more tapping so that you're a little bit more clear-headed as you take the action.
Yeah. That's a good point.
If you're going to shoot a video and you're so freaking out, it's like, I've never shot a video. I can't handle being on camera. Okay, I just can't turn the camera on. Well, I've tapped down now. I've tapped myself to a place where I'm kind of to turn the camera on, but I'm on camera going, ah!
Yeah.
I might say, do some more tapping, even though you're ready to hit the record button. Give yourself a little bit more calm and peace of mind so that you can, but again, don't say, well, okay, I'll shoot the video as soon as I get myself to a 0.
Yeah.
Because then you'll keep putting that off, and you may not allow yourself to get to a 0. Oh, it's not a 0 yet. You may be totally chill and telling yourself, yeah, I'm still at a 3 or a 4. I can't shoot the video yet.
That's exactly. Well, I feel really very chill right now. Just I feel like I just, had a massage or something. I'm just so, chill. Chill's the word. Yeah.
You look chill.
I do. Yeah, I do. Well, it's just amazing how just going through that, and what I loved about what you just showed us is that it's kind of it's showcasing both sides, right? So you've got the side of, well, what I call it, the ego, of what the ego says to keep us, I'm just trying to protect you. And then you have the side of well, I'm really excited about this and moving forward. So you tap and then you talk to both sides.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting.
Well, and it's to go back to the Michelangelo metaphor. When he started, he knew what David was going to look like inside. He didn't just go, well, I'm just going to start hammering away at the marble and just let's see what shows up. So if we just tap on the resistance, we want to say, okay, what I'm looking for inside is that willingness, that excitement, that enthusiasm, because I know that it's there. Just like Michelangelo knew that David was in the statue, it's allowing ourselves to know it's there, and we can talk about it.
Yeah. As
opposed to only talking about what's covering it up. And sometimes we want to do it. Sometimes we focus specifically on what's in the way. But I also, particularly in motivational tapping, I like to also be aware of, here's what I'm uncovering. I know it's in there, but it's that enthusiasm, that excitement that I haven't allowed myself to see, and I might have doubted that it's there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's in there.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because what I'm getting from this, or what's coming forward for me, is that a lot of us get these intuitive hits, right? And we get these, people call them downloads or ideas or manifestation, whatever they call it, and then they have this idea, and then they stop themselves from taking the action of something that could be really amazing, right?
I can't relate to that. That never happened to me. So my notebook of ideas might beg to differ with that. But
you get the first step done, which is the brain dump, and then
yeah.
what, right?
Yeah.
And there's like you're
Then you go on Facebook.
Yeah, you're like, what's everyone else doing?
Because if I actually act on that, my life is going to change, and I'm afraid of that. So
yeah, you get right to it, right, like that.
Yeah, some people are able to jump on it, and if you're not one of those people who's able to jump right on it, it's not that you're bad or stupid. It doesn't mean, oh, well, you just don't have what it takes to be an entrepreneur. It just means you've got some programming in there that's saying, I'm not ready yet. I don't think I can handle it yet.
Yeah.
And tap on that.
You get to tap on it and kind of clear out the gunk on your path.
Yeah, and then you'll find, and then you're going to find yourself, I say in some of my motivational videos, I say, don't feel that you have to finish this video. If you've only tapped through half of it and you go, I really want to get started on this project, go.
Yeah.
Do it. And because there is a part of you, when you're looking at this, at a project, there's a part that's saying, I don't want to. But the person who does want to do it may just be a few taps away, because there is someone inside you who does want you tap. It's like, actually, I do want to do that. I want to get it done today.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you can get it done. You can get stuff done very quickly when you release.
And that person is in there, but in a stressed, when we're dealing with stress, even if we're not, obviously freaking out, if there's enough stress there, that stressed part is saying, it's not in there. There's no motivation in there. No, nobody's home. I know you're looking for somebody who wants to do this project, but that person, they moved and didn't leave a forwarding address. So sorry.
So Brad, I would love to hear, like, when people do your tapping methods, like what's some of the feedback that you get after they've done your tapping? Like, what's the best? Oh, the best one. You're laughing because there's a good one.
Well, some of the funniest ones are not kind.
Okay.
Because we so often we're afraid to put ourselves out there because we're afraid of the criticism. You put yourself out there and shoot tapping videos. You have 700 videos on the internet of you tapping on your face, and there are going to be some people who have unkind things to say. And I'm just to the point, it's just like, whatever, And sometimes those are the people who really want what tapping could do for them, and they're afraid. And it's like, how dare you come and tell me that this silly thing could make me break out of my comfort zone? Because if someone isn't feeling totally resistant to it, why would they even bother to write a comment? If you're really free, you're not going to waste your time doing that.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, from the nasty comments to the people who say, I was on the verge of taking my life, and and this video saved my life today.
Wow.
So, there's the whole spectrum.
Talk about a trickling effect, right? Yeah. Profound.
It totally, when I get comments like that, it totally makes it worth all of the really nasty things.
All the nasty things, yeah.
Which are, and to be honest, they're few and far between. It's actually very rare that I get comments like that, and that, that's law of attraction. I don't attract that kind of stuff at this point. So.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, and it's kind of what all of my colleagues have been telling me as I'm going through my entrepreneurial journey. It's like, oh, when you get the haters, you know that you're doing something really profound.
And if you're not getting them, you're not working hard enough. If there's no criticism showing up, you're not trying hard enough.
You're trying to piss people off enough.
Because the higher levels you go, the more you get seen, the more you're going to be seen. There's going to be some people out there who are upset. Yeah. And it isn't even about you. They're just they're upset with something about themselves, and they're looking for a target. Yeah. And the more you put yourself out there, the greater the odds that someone's going to see that. And that means, hey, if I'm out there where some of these people are showing up, that means that so many of the other people who can actually serve, I'm actually reaching.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I've heard that for every negative comment you see and you hear, there's actually 100 positives behind it that you don't see and hear.
Right. So for every negative comment you see when you're putting it, go, yay, there's 100 positive comments out there.
I choose to see it that way.
I love it. Right to that person, thank you for representing the 100 people who weren't nasty.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so good. I'm going to do that.
You have made my day.
Let's just trigger them a little bit
going, more. What?
There was, oh my gosh, there is
and that's the best revenge you can get, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's really hard to be mean to a very nice, positive, cheerful person.
Yeah.
It's very hard to.
And it's very frustrating for them when you take it that well. And hopefully that frustration will drive them to go to YouTube and find tapping videos.
And tap some more. Tap some more. Okay, so
being
now
nasty isn't working. Maybe I should try being happy.
Well, you go from one of your tapping videos, which is to get through blocks, and then you respond that way, and they get mad. So how do I tap through anger now? You're just setting yourself up for success. You're going to tap something out of them.
There's a tap for that, yeah.
There's a tap for that. I love it. Well, Brad, this has been fantastic. I knew we were going to have a good time. I'm just like, oh, we're going to have a good time. I can tell.
What are you talking about? I'm having any fun at all.
When you said I came here to have fun, it's so funny you say that. I say that all the time.
And now you froze again.
Did I freeze? Was it a funny one?
Oh, right.
Is it frozen again?
I was saying something really funny, and you had this really solemn face. It's like, wow, no reaction. What's that?
Am I still frozen?
No, you're not frozen.
Oh, okay, I'm like, he's talking. I must be frozen still.
No, you're unfrozen.
I'm unfrozen. Well, yes, part of what I want on my entrepreneurial journey is playfulness, is fun. So this was very fun, and now I feel like really chill too. So we tapped, and now I'm like so calm.
Trying to find that spoonful of sugar that helps the medicine go down.
Yeah, absolutely. I think tapping is a really good spoonful of sugar, and it's so simple and better than needles. Like when you said that, I'm like, oh my gosh, for anyone who hates needles, I hate needles. This is like the best.
Even though I hate needles, that's something that you can reduce your fear, because, there are some times where you may want to go and get a blood test or donate blood or
That's true.
I used to donate blood all the time, and then they decided that anyone living in England in a certain period couldn't donate blood because of the possible risk of having contracted mad cow disease.
Yep, my neighbor just had that problem.
Yeah. So I lived in London. I was studying acting in London in 1983, and so now I'm off the list for being able to donate blood. It's like, sure, I don't want to risk giving it, but and people might say, okay, dude, you're on 700 videos tapping on your face on the internet. I think you've got mad cow disease.
Do you have one of those universal blood types too, which makes it like a real big loss?
Yes.
You're an O?
Yes, I'm an A+.
You're an A+. Well, you're plus.
So the most common blood type.
So it's really, it's really everyone else's loss, literally.
That's why I have to make so many videos to make up for the blood that I cannot donate.
Well, that's a good way of looking at it. So Brad, I know the audience is going to want to definitely check you out more, and you have a wonderful free gift. So I'd love for you to tell us a little bit more and where we can all get that.
Yeah. So what I'm offering here is an audio called Tapping into Abundance. Mm-hmm. And so it's an hour-long teleseminar where I guide a number of folks through what's coming up for them, what's stopping them from being happier, being healthier, being wealthier. Mm-hmm. And as you go along and tap along with us, either you're going to listen and say, wow, that's exactly what I've been going through. This is really great to tap through this. Or you may listen and go, yeah, that's not an issue for me. You can still tap through and you're still going to be clearing out stress that you may not even be with. You may come to the end of it and go, wow, I didn't relate to any of those words, but I feel a greater openness about this, or I feel more relaxed about that.
Mm-hmm.
So we call it borrowing benefits. You get benefits from the tapping round, even though it's not about your issue. And there's also a guided imagery at the end of that. So I start out as a hypnotherapist, so there's still a little bit of that to help people, go into a really relaxed place and get even more benefit from that.
Oh, that's great. And it's on your website, tapwithbrad /gifts.
tapwithbrad.com/gifts.
Gifts. Okay, plural?
Yes.
Oh, plural. Okay. So, and for those of you who are listening, I'll have that available for you on the show notes page if you want to go there and check out Brad's bio, and then you can grab the gift too. So we'll make it as easy as possible for you to grab that. And I bet the visual is really nice too. So you can kind of see.
Well, that one is actually an audio course, so it's one that you can download and you can listen to it in the car.
Nice.
Or whatever. So, but it's the same time process we just went through, but it's over an hour, so you go much deeper. So it's like you said, you feel like you just got a massage.
Yeah.
So it's it's an hour-long massage as compared to a 10-minute massage.
You should I'd just be like, oh, I'm just going to go and lay down and just chill over the rest of the day. Do you need to drink a lot of water?
Or you'll be chill, but very motivated to get stuff done. Because you feel a freedom. It's like, well, I just feel no resistance to taking action. It's like, what were those projects again? Oh, gotta get this done.
It's like your checklist is all checked.
Yep.
Very nice. Yeah, I have a daily checklist. That was easy. And then you're going to come up with your own line of little stickers now, right?
Thank you. One more project to put in the big book of ideas.
Oh, just tap your way out of it. You're fine.
Exactly. I have all the time in the world.
Can you tap for that too? The time limitation thing? Oh, I need that.
Just noticing that the half-hour interview you wanted to do is gone an hour now. So.
Oh, that's all right. I knew it was going to go a long time. Like, oh, we're going to have a good time. Okay, so I will let you go, though. I could keep you on for another hour.
I'm fine. I'm having a good time, too, but I know that the folks listening are like, yeah, I'm enjoying this, but I've got things I got to go do now.
Yeah.
My to-do list is getting...
That's true.
Now that I have the freedom to take action... Set me free to go take action now. So.
Oh, that's so. I guarantee that's exactly what's happening. So you are such a blessing, Mr. Brad Yates. We so appreciate you.
Thank you.
And your work is amazing.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to share this work and for all the stuff that you're doing. And thank you to everyone who's listening for for taking the time to do some tapping and open yourself up to do what you can do.
Aw, that's so great. Okay, folks. Well, you heard it. Go take some action, and we'll be back next week with another episode of Light at the End of the Funnel. Thanks for joining us.